Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. It's great to be with you this afternoon. And today, we begin a conversation about how to make America safe again. In the 20th century, the United States has defeated fascism, Nazism, and communism. Now a different threat challenges our world: radical Islamic terrorism. This summer, there's been an ISIS attack launched outside the war zones of the Middle East. Hard to believe, every 84 hours. Here in America, we have seen one brutal attack after another. 13 were murdered and 38 wounded in the assault on Fort Hood. The Boston Marathon bombing wounded and maimed 264 people and ultimately left 5 dead, including 2 of our great police officers. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, 5 unarmed Marines, unbelievable people, by the way, were shot and killed at a military recruiting center. Last December, 14 innocent Americans were gunned down at an office party in San Bernardino. Another 22 were very gravely injured. In June, 49 Americans were executed at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. Another 53 were badly injured. It was the worst mass shooting in our history, and the attack, by far the worst, on the LGBTQ community. And I'll tell you what, we can never, ever allow this to happen again. In Europe, thank you. In Europe, we have seen the same carnage and bloodshed inflicted upon our closest allies. In January of 2015, a French satirical newspaper, Charlie Hebdo, was attacked for publishing cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. 12 were killed, including 2 police officers, and 11 were wounded. 2 days later, 4 were murdered in a Jewish delicatessen. In November of 2015, terrorists went on a shooting rampage in Paris that slaughtered 130 people and wounded another 368 people, some in very, very, very bad shape today. France is suffering gravely, and the tourism industry is being massively affected in a most negative way. In March of this year, terrorists detonated a bomb in Brussels airport, killing 32 and injuring 340 people. This July, in the south of France, an Islamic terrorist turned his truck into an instrument of mass murder, plowing down and killing 85 men, women, and children, and wounding 308 people. Terrible. Among the dead were 2 Americans, a Texas father, and his 11-year-old son. A few weeks ago in Germany, a refugee armed with an axe wounded 5 people in a gruesome train attack. Only days ago, an ISIS killer invaded a Christian church in Normandy, France, forced an 85-year-old priest to his knees, a priest who was beloved, before cutting his throat and just unthinkable other things. Overseas, ISIS has carried out an absolute atrocity, and one after another. Children slaughtered, girls sold into slavery, men and women burned alive, crucifixions, beheadings, and drownings, ethnic minorities targeted for mass execution, holy sites desecrated, Christians driven from their homes and hunted for extermination. ISIS rounding up what it calls Nation of the Cross, Nation of the Cross, in a campaign of absolute and total genocide. We cannot let this evil continue. Nor can we let the hateful ideology of radical Islam, its oppression of women, gays, children, and non-believers be allowed to reside or spread within our own countries. We will defeat radical Islamic terrorism, just as we have defeated every threat we've faced at every age and before. But we will not, remember this, defeat it with closed eyes or silenced voices. We have a president that doesn't want to say the words. Anyone who cannot name our enemy is not fit to lead our country.